Good evening. In this video, I am just giving about information related to the small topic of electrochemistry, as well as I am solving few bits related to this. Few of them we have seen already in the class. Now we are discussing about the remaining part, that is conductance. So what is meant by conductance? It is a reciprocal of resistance. Conductance is nothing but reciprocal of resistance. So it can be given by G equals to 1 by R. It is indicated by G equals to 1 by R. Here R is nothing but resistance. The reciprocal of resistance is nothing but conductance. That's why G equals to 1 by R. So units for conductance is ohm inverse or Simon. Okay, next. Another one is specific conductance. So the specific conductance is also known as specific conductivity. So the specific conductivity or conductance is indicated by letter K, which is known as kappa. K equals to cell constant into G. So specific conductance K equals to cell constant into G. So here cell constant is into G. What is G? Conductance. Conductance we know it is equals to 1 by R. Then cell conductance into 1 by R becomes cell constant divided by R. So this is K value. Okay. So here cell constant can also be calculated by using this formula, that is L by A. Here L is nothing but length of electrode, A is area of conductor. So by substituting this value in cell constant and divide with the R, you will get this K, that is nothing but specific conductance. So next, you want to know about this molar conductance. So specific conductance is indicated by K. Now molar conductance. So this molar conductance is always indicated by lambda m. Molar conductance is indicated by lambda m. So this is equals to K into V. So K is nothing but specific conductance. Specific conductance into volume can give about molar conductance. So lambda m is equals to K into V. K is specific conductance and mention this volume. So the volume value gets changes based upon the units of K. If K is, see, M is nothing but molarity. If K is given as ohm inverse, centimeter square and mole inverse, or Simon centimeter square mole inverse, then we have to use this formula, that is lambda m equals to K into 1000 divided by M. Lambda m equals to K into 1000 divided by M. Here M is nothing but molarity. When we can use this formula? Whenever this K value is given in mole inverse, centimeter square and ohm inverse. In the same manner, lambda value also gets changes whenever K value changes. Lambda m can be calculated by using one more formula, that is lambda equals to K into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by M. So when we can use this formula? When this K value is given in ohm inverse meter square. Here you can see the difference. Here meter square they have given, and here centimeter square they have given. So whenever it is changed, the formula to calculate molar conductivity also changes. Then molar conductivity is equals to K into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by M. So either of the formula can be used to calculate about molar conductance. So which is very important for both NEET and JEE. Okay, so this is how to calculate molar conductance and units for K. Based on that we can use either of the formula. Next one, specific conductance. So specific conductance, already we know it is indicated by K. So that specific conductance is inversely proportional to dilution. That means whenever dilution increases, specific conductance decreases. So when specific conductance will be more when dilution is less. It is inversely proportional. Whereas molar conductance is directly proportional to dilution. Dilution ge molar conductance directly proportional irutte. So remember these two relationships also. Now that is about conductance formula, specific conductance and molar conductance. Molar conductance is very important. Next, Kohlrausch law. So Kohlrausch law is used to find out about molar conductance at infinite dilution. So it is used to find out molar conductance, that is lambda m at infinite dilution. At infinite dilution for a substance we can find out molar conductance at infinite dilution. So this is equals to lambda of positive infinite, that is nothing but lambda of cation. Positive charge indicates cation, and lambda of negative ion, that is anion, okay, at infinite dilution. So instead of infinite you may also take here naught, that is also not a problem. So lambda m infinite is equals to sum of lambda infinite value of cation, lambda infinite value of anion. So that leads to give about molar conductance at dilution. Which dilution? Infinite dilution. Okay. So here also we are calculating lambda m value only, molar conductance only, but it is at infinite dilution. So there are two important applications of Kohlrausch law. This is Kohlrausch law, and there are two important applications. First one, degree of dissociation can be calculated, that is indicated by alpha. Degree of dissociation alpha is equals to molar conductance at C concentration, or molar conductivity of weak electrolyte at that concentration or given concentration. That's why here it is indicated by C, divided by molar conductance of that weak electrolyte at infinite concentration or infinite dilution. So by dividing these two, you will get alpha. Usually this will be given in the question itself. This should be calculated, and by substituting that value, you will get this degree of dissociation. So first application, to find out degree of dissociation, and second application, conductivity of weak electrolyte can be calculated. So conductivity of weak electrolyte can be calculated. For example, lambda infinite CH3COOH. This is a weak electrolyte. Acetic acid is always act as weak electrolyte. You have to remember lambda infinite of CH3COOH. This is a weak electrolyte. Its conductivity can be calculated. That is always equals to lambda of anion and lambda naught value of cation. Cation here is nothing but H plus, and anion is CH3COO minus. So by adding these two, you will get this value. Otherwise, another way is there. Okay, this is Kohlrausch law. In Kohlrausch law, you can calculate about molar conductivity at infinite dilution by adding these two. Application one is it is used to find out about degree of dissociation. Another one is it is used to find out conductivity of weak electrolyte. Okay, now that conductivity of weak electrolyte can also be calculated by based on strong electrolytes. So these are the strong electrolytes. So such strong electrolytes are given. By using that, we can calculate about molar conductivity of weak electrolyte. Molar conductivity of weak electrolyte. So this molar conductivity of weak electrolyte is equals to lambda of CH3COONA plus lambda of HCl minus lambda of NaCl. Idu minus and this is plus. So first write down whatever the ions are obtained. So I am taking here lambda infinite CH3COOH, which is equals to lambda infinite of CH3COONA plus lambda of HCl at infinity minus lambda of NaCl at infinity. Okay, so this is always equals to this one. So first write down whatever the ions are obtained. So the ion present in HCl, is two ions will be present, H plus and Cl minus. So this will be having lambda of H plus and lambda infinity of Cl minus. And minus is there, you will get minus here. This NaCl is also containing two ions, lambda of Na plus and minus lambda of Cl minus. Why I have taken here minus? Because in front of it, it's a containing negative charge. Now negative Cl minus and positive Cl minus get cancelled. Now write down ions obtained from this electrolyte, that is lambda of CH3COO when ionized, we will get CH3COO minus and Na plus, CH3COO minus, and here lambda of Na plus. So before plus is there, you just write plus here. Okay, here you can see plus Na plus and minus Na plus are there, get cancelled. Now what is left? Lambda of CH3COO minus and lambda of H plus. So this sum value will give about molar conductivity of weak electrolyte. Okay, so this you want to remember. This is also very important. for calculating problems. Understand? So this is about this Kohlraasch law and how we can calculate about the conductivity of a weak electrolyte. Conductivity of weak electrolyte. And take a screenshot of this or note it down, and now we'll solve few questions based on the synopsis. So in class already we have discussed about first one. Now about the second one. The ionic conductance of Al plus 3 and SO4 2 minus at infinite dilution. The ionic conductances of Al plus 3 and SO4 2 minus at infinite dilution. Dilution is infinite, or X and Y. Okay, ionic conductance are given as X and Y. Ohm inverse, centimeter square and mole inverse respectively. If Kohlraasch law is valid, then molar conductance of aluminum sulfate at dilution, infinite dilution, we have to find out. So before that, first write down equation for aluminum sulfate. Aluminum sulfate is indicated by Al2SO4 taken thrice. Al2SO4 taken thrice. When it get ionized. Okay, so 2 aluminum plus 3 will be liberated. Plus SO4 2 minus. SO4 2 minus. Totally 3 moles will be obtained, taken thrice. So then molar conductivity of this electrolyte. So molar conductivity is indicated by lambda m naught at dilution of Al2SO4 taken thrice is equals to number of moles of that ions, cations and anions, that is lambda naught Al3 plus, which is in 2, plus 3 moles of lambda naught value of SO4 minus 2. Okay, this is cation and anion. The sum of this value will give about molar conductance of that particular electrolyte. Now here, if you consider as X, because they have given here infinite dilution as X and Y, this becomes Y. Then how many moles of X is released? 2 moles. Then it is equals to 2X plus 3 moles of Y is released, 3Y. Then molar conductivity of Al2SO4 taken thrice value is 2X plus 3Y. 2X plus 3Y. So here it is containing this option. Third B, 2X and 3Y. So this is the answer. That means to get about this molar conductance at infinite dilution according to Kohlraasch law, first write equation, then get about its molar conductivity, and then you will get the dilution value, molar conductance dilution. So and then third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all this we have done. Okay, then next question, eighth one. So this is also related to this equivalent conductant. Okay, here we have to find out about equivalent conductance at infinite dilution for Al2SO4 taken thrice. For this we want to find out here. Okay, so remember already I have told you that Al2SO4, whenever SO4 taken thrice, when undergo ionization, you will get these two ions. Okay, so whenever it is in infinite dilution, dissociation is completed. Okay, so when dissociation is complete, each ion makes a definite contribution towards molar conductance. Each ion can easily contribute towards the definite molar conductance. Okay, so then totally you will write only 1 mole of Al plus 3 and 1 SO4. So separately, if you want, you can also write the same formula as SO4 taken thrice, which is equals to lambda naught of Al plus 3 plus lambda naught of SO4 minus 2. Like this also we will write. So then equivalent conductance is this much. This is molar conductance. This is equivalent conductance. So simply we will represent like this. So the answer is B. Okay, next. So this we have done. It is also completed. Now we want to discuss about this 12th question. So when you observe this 12th question, on passing C ampere current is in C amperes, then time in T seconds, time is given as T seconds, current is C for 12th question. Time in T seconds. C amperes current. Then 1 liter of 2 molar CuSO4. 1 liter of 2 molar 2 molar CuSO4 solution. The amount of M of the copper. Amount is nothing but weight. Amount is nothing but weight. Amount of M of copper. So that weight or mass is given as M. M of copper deposited at cathode we want to find. So this mass of the amount or mass of the substance should be calculated. We know according to Faraday's first law. According to Faraday's first law, mass of a substance is always directly proportional to Ct. Mass of a substance is directly proportional to Q in general. Or I have given W equals to, W is directly proportional to Q. Both are same. Okay, Q, in place of Q you may also take Ct or It. Both are correct. M is directly proportional to Ct or It. So both are correct. Okay, if you want to remove this proportional, you want to keep a constant, that is M is equals to ZCT. ZCT. What is Z? Z equals to nothing but equivalent weight of a substance divided by its Faraday. Equivalent weight of a substance divided by Faraday. So even we know equivalent weight. Equivalent weight is nothing but equals to atomic mass divided by valency. Equivalent weight equals to atomic mass divided by valency. All these I have given you. M is directly proportional to Q, or W is directly proportional to Q. M is directly proportional to Ct. Q is equals to Ct or It. So both we can write. So by removing this proportional, you will get a constant, that is Z. Z is nothing but electrochemical constant. That Z value is equals to equivalent weight divided by Faraday. This equivalent weight is equals to atomic mass divided by valency. Okay, now write whatever they have given. Atomic weight of copper they have given. Atomic mass of copper. So the same formula we may also write it as M is equals to equivalent weight. In place of Z we can write equivalent weight by Faraday. Equivalent weight into C into T divided by Faraday. This will be the final formula. Equivalent weight is given. Equivalent weight in the sense atomic mass divided by valency. Okay, atomic mass divided by valency. What is atomic mass of Cu given? 63.5. Okay, valency of copper. Valency of copper. Copper in CuSO4. CuSO4 gives rise to Cu plus 2 and SO4 minus 2. Okay, so here it is having valency of plus 2. So take here 2. 63.5 divided by 2. Okay, so that is what equivalent weight. Now Z value. Okay, directly I have written here, or you may also change it. So Z value I am writing this Z equals to equivalent weight by Faraday. What is equivalent weight? 63.5 divided by 2. 63.5 divided by 2 into Faraday. So Faraday is nothing but here 96,500. 1 Faraday equals to this much. So equivalent weight into C into T divided by valency. I forgot here. You just write valency. When you substitute equivalent weight, you will get atomic mass. Instead of equivalent weight, you may also write atomic mass divided by valency. C into T divided by F. I am just substituted. M is equals to what? ZCT. What is Z value? Equivalent weight by Faraday. What is equivalent weight? Atomic weight by valency. Atomic mass by valency into F into C into T. Okay, so C value they have given. Current is C. Time is T. Okay, then M equals to atomic mass. What is atomic mass here? 63.5 into current is same C into time is T seconds divided by valency. What is valency here? 2 into Faraday is 96,500. Okay, you just cancel in a simple manner. 2 ones are 2 3s are 2 ones are 2 9s are, sorry, 2 9s are, it becomes 2 7s are and 5. You will get 31.75 into C into T divided by 96,500. Now M is equals to 31.75 into C into T divided by 96,500, because they didn't give about C and T, so you will get this much. Then the answer for this, what is the question? So they have asked you to calculate amount of M of Cu. This is amount of M of Cu which is deposited. This much is got deposited. So the answer is the D. Okay, now we'll see the next bit. See the next question. The EMF of the cell they have given as 0.2905 volts. The value of equilibrium constant we want to find out. Equilibrium constant is nothing but K, that we want to find out. To find out K is always equals to K equilibrium we have to find out. To get that, first we want to know E naught value. They have given only E value. E is equals to E naught cell minus 0.0591 divided by N into log Kc. Why I have taken here Kc? Because they have mentioned the solution concentrations. This is in 0.01 and this is in 0.001. So we want to take here log Kc. Then E value is already given, that is 0.2905. Substitute that 0.2905, which is equals to E naught minus 0.0591 divided by N we have to calculate. What is N here? That is nothing but number of electrons got exchanged. If you see the reaction, you can find. From here Zn converted into Zn converts Zn plus 2, Fe plus 2 converts to Fe. That means only 2 electrons are different, then N is equals to 2. Log, okay, Kc value. Kc is nothing but concentrations are on both the sides. So concentration here is more, you just write that here 0.01 divided by less concentration we have to write at denominator 0.001, because C2 is greater than C1. That's why we want to write C2 value at numerator and C1 value at denominator. Okay, this ones are and tens are, then log 10 it becomes log 10 value. Log 10 value is equals to 1. This total becomes log 10. Log 10 equals to 1. Okay, then when you divide it with this, 2 1s are, 2 2s are, 2 9s are, 2 5s are, and you will get something. Okay, 0.0295 something you will get here. Understand? Into 1. Into log 10 is nothing but 1. 0.2905 equals to E naught minus 0.0295 log 1. Log 10 value is 1. Log 10 value is 1. Then 0.2905 equals to E naught minus 0.0295. When E naught comes this side, E naught becomes equals to 0.2905 plus 0.0295 you will get. By adding these two, you will get here 0.3200. 0.3200. This is about E naught value. Now we want to find out about equilibrium constant. So that can be calculated by using this formula. E naught is equals to 0.0591 divided by N into log K equilibrium. K equilibrium. By using this formula, you will get about E naught. So if you know E naught, you will get about K. This one we want to find out. E naught value we know. You just substitute 0.32, which is equals to 0.0591 divided by N value here also is only same, that is 2. Difference in the electrons equals to 2 into log K equilibrium. Okay, so now what you want? Only K equilibrium constant. K equilibrium becomes equals to, so when you divide this, you will get 2 into 0.0295 you will get. Okay, so then what will be left here? 10 log 10. 10 into 10 to the power of 0.32 divided by 0.0295 you will get. So that is about equilibrium constant. 10 to the power of 0.32 divided by 0.0295. So 0295. Answer is B. See the next question. Molar conductance versus molar conductance is plotted against constant root of concentration for three different types of electrolytes, that is NaCl, HCl and NH4OH. So this is a graph between these two, and there are three curves. For the three electrolytes we have to find out which curve belongs to which one. So remember one thing, if it is a weak electrolyte, there is a sudden increase in the concentration curve. Okay, if it is a weak electrolyte, there is a sudden increase in the, or sudden rise, a rapid rise in the concentration of that electrolyte. That means whatever is weak in nature, that will be having this. Okay, and remember NH4OH and CH3COOH always weak electrolytes. So NH4OH is having this kind of sudden rapid or sudden rise in the concentration term with respect to this molar conductivity. And now one is over, that is NH4OH. It is a weak electrolyte that is having third curve because it is containing a rapid increase, sudden increase in its concentration. So if you see first one, there is a small increase in the concentration or decrease in the concentration with respect to this molar conductance. Always strong electrolytes can show a small variation in its curve. So strong electrolyte between BaCl2 and HCl is HCl. It is strong electrolyte. HCl is strong electrolyte and can show very small variation. That means HCl is having curve 1. And remaining one is second curve is shown by or given by BaCl2. Okay, third one is related to NH4OH. These two contains NH4OH. And second one is containing BaCl2, so this one. And first curve, which is having a small variation with the concentration, then that is having HCl, which is a strong electrolyte. So the answer is the B. Okay, next one. And see, the same type of question is also here. Which of the following curve shows the variation of molar conductance of a weak acid with concentration? If it is weak acid, that is from weak electrolyte, then you will get rapid increase. Okay, rapid increase in its concentration. You will get this kind of curve. So the answer is C for this one. Okay, for a weak electrolyte, you will get this curve. Next one. See the 15th one. The conductivity of 0.01 mole per dm cube aqueous acetic acid at 300 kelvins is conductivity they have given. Conductivity is 19.5 into 10 to the power of minus 5 ohm inverse. Centimeter inverse, and limiting molar conductance also they have given. Okay, at same temperature is 390. This is limiting molar conductance. We want to find out degree of dissociation. Okay, one of the most important application of this molar conductance is nothing but Kohlrausch law is nothing but finding of degree of dissociation. I have already told you. It is used to find out about degree of dissociation. So based on this molar conductivity, we want to find out about this degree of dissociation. Okay, now this is related to this Kohlrausch law. Now we have to find out first. So by using this formula, we have to find out degree of dissociation. This is now for 15th question. Okay, for 15th question. So 15th question solution we are now doing. Okay, so alpha is equals to degree of dissociation. Alpha is equals to, what is the formula I have given? Lambda m with respect to the given concentration divided by lambda m of infinity. Okay, so this is already given. Limiting molar conductance, limiting molar conductivity of acetic acid is 390 divided by 390. We have to find out about lambda m at given concentration. So this is given concentration. At this concentration we have to find out about this molar conductance. So we can use the above formula. Molar conductance is equals to K into 1000 divided by molarity. K into 1000 divided by molarity, because here two formulas are there for molar conductivity. Okay, molar conductivity at a given concentration is equals to K into 1000 divided by M, or K into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by M. If it is given in centimeter square, we have to use this one, I have told you. If it is in meter square, we have to use this. So here what is the question given? Centimeters. Okay, centimeters. So compulsorily we have to use this formula, K into 1000 divided by M. So that's why I have taken here molar conductivity equals to K into 1000 divided by M. Okay, K value is nothing but specific conductance. So what is conductivity or specific conductance is given 19.5. K value, K is equals to 19.5 into 10 to the power of minus 5. Okay, then molarity is also given. So molarity is also given. Molarity of the solution is 0.01. Okay, substitute these two values in the above formula. Then lambda m c is equals to K value is 19.5 into 10 to the power of minus 5 into 10 to the power 1000 divided by m. M is nothing but 0.01. Okay, this is about this value. By calculating all this, you will get here nearly 19.5. You will get here 19.5. You just do the calculation. Then after calculating all this, you will get lambda mc value as 19.5. We got this lambda mc already. Lambda m infinity is given. So degree of dissociation alpha is equals to lambda m c divided by lambda m infinity. Okay, lambda mc value we have calculated, that is 19.5. Okay, lambda infinity value at dilution is given 390, that is already given in the question. Okay, so this is limiting molar conductivity, which is 390, right here 390. By dividing these two, you will get here 0.05, that is about degree of dissociation. Okay, based on the question, use the formulas whatever I have given, then you will get the answer. So alpha is equals to 0.05. So the answer is B. Okay, even this question is almost related to that. Okay, you just find out about this. Okay, like that many similar questions are there. So according to that, according to the synopsis whatever I have given, you just try to solve all these questions. You'll get an idea about this electrochemistry. It is the easiest chapter if you get an idea about synopsis. Try to solve the remaining questions.